This is block 4C. This is Pale Iris. Isn't this just
pretty?
oh, this
Oh,
is a
that color's
beautiful,
amazing, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
beautiful color. Like that one a lot. This is already out on the website on Quilters HQ for you to download. It is working. Several people have already downloaded it. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start with the Pale Iris. And everything can be cut with AccuQuilt. Tonight, the majority of the blocks are from the 6-inch cube. And then one extra large from the 12-inch cube. I almost said the YouTube.
From the YouTube cube?
From the YouTube cube? No.
You're going to
really
be
is.
dreaming about that tonight.
I am. 12-inch cube. So the first ones I'm going to cut the larger pieces first. And that is, and this one has a lot of small pieces, so it might take us a minute to get through this. We do have some stuff to show you too. This is die number 8 from the 6-inch cube, and we need 4 patches. And since they're small, I'm just going to come this way across the fabric. And again, I'm just going to measure my die. It is, helps if I have my ruler the right way, 3 inches. So I'm going to cut this 3.5 from the salvage.
Oh, sorry, Karen. Oh, good. We broke out our cubes.
Nice.
Looks pretty amazing.
I love the Paintbrush Studios. I'm a big fan. I like the feel, the
Range of colors, that's
the drape of the fabric too. Okay, so we needed 4 of these. And there's our 4. You can see those are pretty
Hi,
small.
Amy, how are you?
And then we need 1 patch, so we're done with that one. I'm going to set it over here. We need 1 patch, 3.5. That's this one. Bless you.
Hi, Peggy. Glad she's doing it's better.
And you know what? I am just going to cut that out. Since I already have to make that cut, I'm just going to rotary cut that one. Sometimes it is. Like if you're cutting and you have 1 patch to cut.
yeah, it really doesn't make sense to break everything out. And
Okay,
For
there's
1
my
patch.
3.5. That one's done. And
Uh-oh.
then
Sorry about that.
trash bin for rubbish. And then 12 patches. And that's this one.
Stream seems to be a lot better now, so Facebook, who knows?
Did you turn Facebook off?
No, it just came back.
Yeah, it's been doing that. It keeps coming
The
back.
wonder of the internet.
So this die has 8 shapes on it. This is from the 12-inch cube. If you don't have the 12-inch cube, it's a good investment because you can make quilts really quick. So these finish to 1.5 inches. So has 8. I need 12. I'm just going to cover it twice. And then I can use those other little pieces for something else. Okay, there's the edge. Right there.
Beverly was asking, do we sell half-yard cuts of the Amish quilt material?
Yes, we do. They can go to the website or they can give us a call, however you'd like to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it said Facebook's a little better, so if you were on there, YouTube seems to be good right now.
And there we go. So there's 4.
Okay.
Eight. And 12. Save these. really like the 12-inch die. A lot of, it's the same blocks, they're just bigger, you finish faster. Okay. So we also need 12 patches of the ebony in this one. And we need 12 patches of this. This is die number 2 from the 6-inch cube. And 3 layers is going to get that for us. So I'm just planning how to layer my fabric to get that and that. So let's cut these first. So the way I'm going to do this, because I want to make sure that I have enough fabric, is I'm actually going to pull that out first, fold this back, and then fold back part way. So it's 8, and then I just need 4 more to get to my 12.
We're back here playing Jenga, you know.
So if you can see, it's kind of hard to see. I'll use this so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to cover the die like this, and then I'm going to come part way across so that I only cover this portion to get to my 12. Because I want to make sure that I have enough fabric. So that will do it right there. Make sure that I'm covering up all of my die.
Now, have you traced around that die?
I have not, and I kind of wish that I had.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Like because of the shape.
Right. Still be able to order same.
And there's my 12 pieces.
Good job.
I know, I can count to 12. It's a good day.
Hi, Cindy. Made it over there.
It's not every day. Some days are better than others. Thank you,
You're
Marilyn.
welcome.
And then I needed 12 patches of this. So we're going to fold it. We're going to make 16. Yep,
You're finished with this one. I'll put it back.
I am. Thank you. Do you hear that truck taking off? That's our air conditioning. I always feel like it's going to fall through the ceiling at some point. Okay.
So it started dropping again a little bit. So hang in
And
there. We will record it and put it up there. So
you won't miss it. 12 of those. And we're ready to sew. See how quickly you can cut out a whole block like this with AccuQuilt? So much easier. I am going to start by sewing all of these little small triangles together. And I need my doohickey as well.
Your doohickey?
the doohickey.
The doohickey. Can't live without that.
You need to paint it a different color than white.
I know, white's kind of blendy, isn't it?
Well, when you put it in a white box, it is.
Details. Okay, so I'm just going to chain piece these really quick.
Question.
Okay.
What stitch length do you use to quilt?
I use, all right, to piece or to quilt. So for piecing, I use a 1.8 millimeter, and for quilting, I use 2.5 millimeters. I use the 1.8 millimeter in piecing because sometimes we'll piece a block together and then we'll cut it in half, like when you're doing quarter square triangles or half square triangles. If you use a 1.8 millimeter stitch, then your pieces won't come apart. The stitches won't come out later. It's pretty small. It is a little more if you have to take it out, but I would rather, take my chances on the times that I have to actually take the stitching out. Will you press those? And I'll do these.
Sure.
So we're going to piece this in a 9 patch. So, actually I can't really do anything yet. I can piece these together. So 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Someone asks if you have any idea on how you're going to quilt it.
Because this is a very geometric quilt, I'm going to use something with a lot of curves and swirls in it. So if you've ever had a quilt and you sent it off to your quilter and you picked it up and you didn't like it, but you weren't sure why, the quilting was good, everything was nice, except it just, didn't really speak to you, it's probably because you quilted with a geometric pattern on a geometric quilt. And what happens is those curves break up a lot of the straight lines. And when you try to put straight lines on a quilt that has mine,
Yeah, but you wanted me to do it.
and you did, thank you.
Okay.
When you put straight lines on a quilt that has a lot of straight lines in it, it doesn't look right when you have an angle like this, but your pattern goes like this through it. So that's why curvy patterns are really good on square geometric quilts. Like this quilt up here is not very geometric at all. It has a lot of circles on it. So on that one, the reverse holds true as well. I used a very geometric pattern. And that one's called Too Simple. I had to think about that for a minute.
Because it was difficult.
It was. Thinking is just, sometimes it's so hard. Throws me for a loop every time. Okay. This block is worth the extra effort. It's so pretty when it's done.
The color is so vibrant.
Yeah.
Just pops out at you immediately.
That's what I love about the Amish quilts is they have so much color in them, and the simple patterns really lend a lot to how you see more of the color than the pattern. Like the AccuQuilt quilt has a lot of solids in it, but you're not really drawn to the color, you're drawn to the pattern of the quilt. So that's the difference between those two. And this is why I have to lay these out every time. If I don't, I will be sorry.
So if I were to sneeze and all of that just went, you'd be a little upset, huh?
No, I'd just do it again. Might hand you a Kleenex and say, "Geez, Marilyn, you can aim those."
Well, maybe I was.
Okay, I get it now. Wait, I did something wrong here. There we go. Nope, that's not right either. That's better.
Oh.
Okay, so that's that. And then these 4 go just like that.
This is when my cat at home decides to come up and check out what I'm doing and walks across it and says, "Oh, that's nice," and lays down right on top of it.
You're so much nicer. I'm like, every time Lana comes in, I'm like, psst, psst, psst. Like
Wow.
shooing her away, like, go away. But I did go in my sewing room and I have the great big giant embroidery hoop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had some sticky stabilizer.
Oh, fun.
I wish I had video of that because there's paw prints on it.
Did she stick her nails in it or anything?
No, she didn't stick her nails in it, but I'm pretty sure it's really sticky stuff that when she leaped up there, because it's pretty high. It's probably
Yeah,
that
that's
high.
funny when they leap up on something that they really don't know what's up there.
I'm
They're just
sure
shocked.
she was not expecting
No,
to stick
no.
in place. And you know how they,
Yeah, they kind of freak out a little.
and then the other one, but then now this one's stuck again. I was taking a
should have
little
had
bit of
your-
amusement in
Should
that.
have had your camera ready.
I wish I did. But I said, serves you right, sister. For being nosy. So these, I'm going to sew one at a time because this is a lot of layout and I might actually just I can fudge that.
Joan is the world's greatest fudger.
I am. Just because it's off a little bit doesn't mean you have to resew it. What's the saying? Done is better than perfect.
That's
Oh,
what I
damn.
should put on all of my quilts.
Agreed. Why sweat the small stuff? Oop, wrong way. That goes that way. That one's fine. We can piece these two together. I'm actually going to press this one backwards the other way. You can do that with this because you haven't ironed that
Mm-hmm.
that in. So another advantage to having this. And then make sure I lay it out because I'll piece it wrong. There we go. Those two together.
Then I still would sew the wrong side.
I've done that.
If you can do it wrong, I've done it.
Me too. But see how sharp that point is when you do that? You layer those. It's worth it. It's an extra step, but it works out in the end.
Well, especially when it's such contrasting material, you want it to be sharp.
Yep. Piece these two together, and then we'll have almost all of our 9 patches. Sorta.
Alan, Susan was out hitting her shot. You never know how you're going to feel.
I did not feel good. I had a fever and
I don't know if she's got a fever. She was just feeling really, really tired and
yeah, I did feel
drug
really
out,
tired. Laid in bed a whole day.
that's what she's doing.
And I'm not a layabout person. It's not easy for me to.
Body needs to recharge.
You're
You
right.
betcha.
When your body's saying stay in bed, you should do it. Okay. Can you see the block coming together yet? This is probably one of the more complex blocks. Everything else is pretty simple in this quilt.
Diana said she used a Pampered Chef roller.
For pressing her seams,
Yeah, for rolling, yeah.
Cute.
whatever works. I like this one. You can use it for a stylus too if you're needing to get up really close to your.
I also use it to open up seams
Yep.
that are difficult to, so you can run that right through. Or if you're taking it apart and you've taken a few stitches out, so it comes apart easier if you
Turning
that
those
through.
points when you're cutting something inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Or right side out. You sewed it inside out, and now you're turning it right side
Right
out.
side out.
There's that.
Well, and this little edge is good for marking. If you don't want to actually use a color, you can just put a little crease in with it.
I've done it. It does work.
Yep.
I am getting used to standing up and sewing, though. Never thought I would do that.
I kind of like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I do it sometimes. Just depends on which table I put things on, where I have them rolled up to. I like adjustable height tables. You have that option.
I'd like to have one of those desks that is adjustable height. I don't know if I want my sewing machine to be, but okay.
Well, I do because it's on one table, and then the table behind it, if I am doing free motion on it, it kind of gives me more space for the quilt to flow across without pulling.
Yeah,
So I make both tables the same height, and then that works pretty good.
cool. I'm going to go the other way.
I think it makes a difference how tall you are, what you're comfortable with. There's a bit of difference there.
I think there's a little bit of difference there,
Yeah,
Marilyn.
Yeah.
You're making me look short.
No, they didn't get that book on my head quick enough.
Oof. I keep tripping over cords here. We will get through this, though, before our time is up. We've got a couple of new things to show you. So once you have all of these pieces sewn in your 4 patches, then this goes together just like any other 9 pouch. Okay, there's that. Let's do these. I'm going to do that one too, and that one. Do you have a safety tip for us, Marilyn?
Do I have a safety tip for us? Well, probably a few. It's kind of the wrong time of year, but make sure that all of your outside faucets are insulated so they don't freeze, because it sure is a lot of trouble in the spring. I've been without water for I was without cold water for 4 days, and then something happened to our hot water, and I was out. When I was out the cold water, I was out the hot water too, so I had no water for 4 days. And then we got the cold water on, and the hot water heater went out, so we had to replace it, and they weren't in any hurry getting one out there to replace. So I got hot water finally yesterday. So this went from Sunday through Saturday, and now we have carpets that are, drying out, and trim that needs to go on. So just, a little extra caution in the fall is a good idea.
That's a deal breaker. I would have moved into a hotel.
Well, I had a cat and a dog and a husband, and he was on the phone and the internet all the time talking to all of these people that we have these, insurance plans for, so that you just call them and they come and repair it, and, they get the plumber, they get everything. Nah, it doesn't work that easy.
They'll survive. They would survive.
The cat and the dog would survive.
The cat and the dog, and
I don't think the hotel room would, though. I guess there are a couple of
Well, I didn't
hotels
say
in
you-
town that'll take the
you didn't have
animals,
to
but-
take them with you.
Oh, no, they wouldn't survive at home. Are you kidding? I have pampered pets. You told me that just a few minutes ago about you wouldn't let your cat up there. Well, mine comes up just to tell me hi and see what I'm doing. And if I don't pay attention to her, then she might hit your... She does that, like, you know. And then you're looking for it. She pulls the straight pins out of the pin cushion and throws them on the floor.
Maybe she doesn't like you.
I think she does, though. I'm the one who feeds her.
I saw this cartoon where it was the cat talking to the dog. I don't know what
Were
language,
they
but
planning?
the cat was telling the dog that these humans must be so stupid. I keep leaving dead animals for them as threats. And they just go, oh, that's sweet.
That's so funny.
Well, we did have a cat once that was an outdoor cat. And she loved to hunt, and she did not have her front claws, but she would bring home,
Treats for you?
yeah, dead treats, and usually the back end of them. I guess I don't know what she did with the heads, but and then she would line them in a row on our front step. It's just really weird.
See? Anybody else brings you dead things. That's like what was the Godfather movie?
Yeah, a horse's head in your bed. Oh my.
Yep,
Well,
bird's
her
head on
name
your porch, but you're okay.
Mitzi was quite a cat.
They are entertaining though.
Yes, they are. And the cat is just bored out of her mind because I keep her indoors. So she plans all different ways to trap the dog so that she can scratch him as he goes by.
Yeah, Lana does that to Jill too. Poor Jill. She's a rat terrier, and she's afraid of the cat.
She's probably not much bigger than the cat.
She's really not. And I keep coaching her and going, "You're a dog. You're above the cat species." And she runs and hides.
I haven't done any of that for Rex. I just try to get between them when I know it's going to happen. Because you can see it, the cat runs up the stairs a few steps ahead of him and then crouches down. And she blends in with everything because she's gray and black and, you know. And
Oh,
you were having too much fun talking about the
I
animals.
can't talk.
I will leave you alone, Joan.
No, it's okay. So this is why we lay them out. This is another great tool. We do
That
sell
is
these.
Great.
So the nice thing about these, they have this little hook on them, and you can just hook right into that stitch. And I usually only back stitch when I'm stitching the rows together, so I didn't. So this will be just fine. If it was just two pieces, I would pull them apart because the Aerofill thread, you can do that. It'll break pretty easily with a little bit of force, but this is a pieced piece. And it would pull my other seam apart too. Okay.
Kind of threw caution to the wind there at the end.
Well, it wasn't on a pieced piece anymore.
I see. Okay. Just checking.
Okay, so like that.
That looks
Not like that.
better.
It happens. This is the second time. I'm actually surprised that this is only the second time.
Well, this is one of the more complicated ones, though,
Yeah.
you had said in the beginning. So it's good that you do that. And actually, she does that on purpose so that when you guys do it at home, you don't feel so bad about it. What did you do?
I said no, I didn't.
Trying to help you out, Joan. Thought that's what I was here for.
Okay, so there's that. These will go quick. So what kind of crazy things do your pets do? Comment and let us know so
Somebody said when the cat is close to 19 years old, they don't jump as much. So
I've got a ways to go. I think the cat's only 3 or 4.
Oops, did not mean to cut there. I just wanted to. See, this is what happens when you get used to sewing on a different machine. And you
Why
push,
did you choose this one tonight?
you push backwards on the pedal and it raises the presser foot. But I honestly, I chose this one tonight. I do like the way the straight stitch machine sews a straight stitch, but it was threaded in the right color.
You're my kind of gal.
It doesn't take a lot.
You should just stick with your aluminum
Aluminum.
thread.
That's
That
what this
color.
is.
Oh,
That is why I chose this one. I did not check the bobbin though. I'm living dangerously tonight.
I think you're okay.
I hate it when I do that and I'm sewing along and sewing along and sewing along and then there's, nothing.
This machine doesn't tell you when your
No.
bobbin's low. Neither does mine.
Mine doesn't at home either. Okay. So I think we're going to press these seams towards the middle. Just like that. And like that. And the reason I say that is if you look at them, I don't know if you can see it, they kind of have a tendency to lean towards the middle already on this block. So see how the seam is kind of curling towards the middle? So that helps me make my decision that I'm going to press the seam towards the middle. And then these get pressed towards the outside edge. So you could say
Very pretty.
it's a very pretty
Yeah.
block,
Yeah,
but the cat messed it up without even having to be here.
right.
someone else said that their cat pulls the pins out of everything.
Yes, yeah.
Haven't heard that.
And it's really, you have to make sure you have pins with colored heads on them because I have a short shag carpet downstairs. And when you're vacuuming and it, and it gets caught in there, it's a lot of fun at
Makes
our
that
house.
crunching noise.
Yeah. Then off you go to the fix-it place.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any, cats are predators, so any predatory experience why they would pull pins out of something.
Because they're bored. They just get so bored. Anything for entertainment. And so if she knows I'm going downstairs, she's right down there with me because she knows there's something's going to go on and that there are a lot of things she can get into. And so it's her entertainment.
Your sewing is for her entertainment.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. My cat does the same thing.
And if she doesn't know where I am, she walks around the house and goes, meow, meow, waits for me to call her back so I can tell her where I am.
It's like having kids.
Yeah, it really is. And the dog, when the cat does that, the dog doesn't want her anywhere near me. He's protective. That just adds another level to the fun.
I really think, I'm going to sew that again. Kind of warbly at the end. You ever get that? A warbly seam?
Yes.
Just sew it again.
Thank you. Sometimes I actually take them out.
Yep. See it? Just sew it again.
But now you're going to take it to that fabulous iron, aren't you? That's
am.
going to press it so flat you don't even know it.
So I kind of warbled off off the edge here on the first one. So just put it back in your sewing machine and sew it again. The only time that doesn't work is if you're pressing your seams open, and I never do that. Even when they say you're supposed to, I don't. There's a reason why I don't.
Why?
Would you like to hear the reason?
Of course.
So when you have a seam, so we press our seams towards one side, usually towards the dark side. In my head, I can hear Luke, I am your father.
Yes.
So we always press towards the dark. But part of the reason that we press towards one side is because when you press your seam open, there's those little tiny holes in between the stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, and how many times you wash your quilt, batting threads can move up through those holes. So
I don't worry about that so much.
Warble or warble?
warble. There it is. That is block 4C.